Alright, so this video is a way that you can use DESMOS as a tool to not only check any rational problem that you have as far as simplifying, multiplying and dividing, adding and subtracting, but it is also going to be a way for you to be able to check any multiple choice problem that you have. As long as you have options, like multiple choice options, then you can always compare your graphs, which your pre-cal exam is multiple choice and it is calculator active. So this is a tool that you could use on your NC final. Alright, so I'm going to bring this problem up. It's just a basic simplifying problem. In this problem it gives you n minus 6 divided by n squared minus 13n plus 42. Now when you graph it in DESMOS, you are not going to use n, you're going to use x's. And you're going to also use y equals. So in the basic DESMOS, that's not the NC version, you can graph it without having two variables. But when you have the NC version, you have to have the two variables as a function. So I'm going to do y equals. I'm going to hit my division key. Now, if you don't have a device that has an actual keyboard, then you would just go to the keyboard in DESMOS and hit the division symbol. It's going to create that template, and I'm going to type x minus 6. And then this one I have n squared, so we're going to do x squared minus 13x plus 42. Now this one does have answer choices, but I'm going to pretend like we did this by hand, and let's say we got y, or we simplified and we got 1 over n minus 6. So let's do y equals 1 divided by n minus 6. Now we should be able to clearly see that we did something wrong at this point because my graph does not match. I can turn it on and off, but I don't need to turn it on and off because my green does not match my blue. So if it doesn't match, then it is not the correct answer. So what if it is multiple choice? Well, I'm going to look at my first option here. So I have y equals 1 divided by x minus 7. Well, this first answer is the correct answer because I can clearly see that my blue and my purple are the same graph. So the correct answer is actually this one. Let's say that that wasn't the very first one that we came across. Let's say it was the n minus 7, which we're going to put x minus 7. That is obviously not the same graph, so it's not the correct answer. So the key is it has to be the same graph. Okay, so you can use this as a way to check the answer that you got, or if it's multiple choice, you can use it as a way to check what the right answer is. So the next problem that I have was a multiplication problem. So at some point you're going to have to multiply rational expressions. So it says, what is the product of these two? So if I'm doing the product, that means I'm going to multiply. I'm still going to do y equals. And I'm going to use parentheses just because it's going to make it easier to multiply the two side by side. So in the parentheses, start another one, hit the division symbol. So x squared minus 1, 3x plus 3. So here's the graph that I'm trying to match. Okay, so I'm going to start with A. I have 4x over 3, so I'm going to change this to y equals 4x over 3. And that is the correct answer because it's the same graph. So if you look at B, they got 4x squared over 3. So I should be able to see that clearly isn't the answer. I just wanted to give you, to show you both ways if it is correct or not correct because it's not the same graph. So you go through your answer choice options and see which one is the correct one. Alright, and the last one is going to be addition now, or addition or subtraction. So this one particularly is addition. But addition subtraction seems to be the most difficult and seems to cause the most problems for students just because of the fact that when you add or subtract any fraction of any sort, you have to have a common denominator. And then when you start adding in common denominators of rational expressions and with variables and numbers, it just becomes that more complicated. So we have 3 over n minus 4 plus 3 over 5n minus 6. So again, we're going to make it y equals, but we're going to change it so that it is x, so x minus 4 plus, you type it just like you see it without the x's, so 5x minus 6. So we're looking for a graph that matches this particular one. Alright, so I'm going to start with A. So I have y equals 9 over x minus 4. And we have 5x minus 6 I should be able to clearly see that that is not the right answer because the graph doesn't match. So I'm going to delete that. I'm going to go to the next one. So I have 18x minus 30. And that's going to be over x minus 4 and then 5x minus 6. That one is the correct answer because it matches the graph. So the correct answer for that one is B. So I hope this does help you. Again, I am aware that there are some problems that you are going to have to work through using the videos from the support videos and the PowerPoint presentation and a few other key things that I've put up there just so that you understand the process. But I'm just trying to give you an extra tool to not only check yourself, but if multiple choice, how to understand that just because I have a problem and it's asking me to simplify, add, subtract, multiply doesn't mean that it changes the graph of the function. It's still going to match if you simplify it correctly.